Hello teachers, learners, and parents. Sir Jeff po, at your service. Alam nyo ba na meron tayong website na tinatawag na DepEd Commons? Ang DepEd Commons ay binuo upang gawing accessible ang pagtuturo at pag-aaral dito sa ating bansa gamit lamang ang inyong mga smart devices gaya ng cellphones, tablets, at computers. Dito ay maaari nating ma-access ang iba't ibang learning materials mula sa Department of Education. Meron itong mga interactive materials, electronic self-learning modules, at instructional video lessons mula sa DepEd TV na tiyak na makatutulong sa pag-aaral ng mga mag-aaral galing ka man sa public o private school. Walang problema dahil welcome ang lahat dito. Para ito sa mga guro, magulang at mga mag-aaral mula sa kinder hanggang grade 12, alternative learning system o ALS, at pati na rin ang special education. At huwag kang mag-alala dahil kahit walang load ay maaari mong ma-access ang mga learning materials. Tama, libre ito. Ang kailangan mo lamang gawin ay i-on ang iyong data at buksan lamang ang iyong browser at i-type ang commons.deped.gov.ph. Alam na ba ng iyong mga kasamahang guro o mag-aral ang tungkol sa DepEd Commons? I-share mo na ang video na ito upang matuto rin sila kung paano gagamitin ang DepEd Commons sa mabilis at napakadaling paraan. Muli, ito po si Sir Jeff at kita-kits po tayo sa DepEd Commons. Paalam!
Magandang araw! Sir Wilbur po, at your service. Narito ang ETULay upang gabayan ka sa inyong pag-aaral upang lubos na maunawaan ang iba't ibang paksa o subject. Ang ETULay ay isang free online tutorial class na pinangungunahan ng DepEd Educational Technology Unit sa pamumuno ni Undersecretary Elaine Del B. Pascua. Ang programang ito ay hindi lamang para sa mga bata, kundi ito rin ay magsisilbing gabay sa mga magulang at mga guro kung paano nila ituturo o gagabayan sa bawat asignatura ang kanilang mga anak o mga estudyante. Sa kasalukuyan, ang self-learning module mula sa rehiyon ng Calabarzon at kilala sa tawag na pivot ang ginagamit sa ating ETULay online class. Kaya ano pang hinihintay ninyo? Ihanda na ang inyong mga ballpen o lapis, papel o kwaderno at samahan kaming itulay ang pagkatuto para sa bawat batang Pilipino. Sama-sama tayong magtutulungan para malampasan ang mga hamon sa panahong ito. Halina't matuto kasama ang inyong online tutor sa oras na ito.
Hi, good afternoon, everyone. It's 4:20 in the afternoon, and we will be together from 4:20 up until 5 o'clock in the afternoon today. And serving you today is your tutor, Tutor Nova, for oral communication in context. And we are on week number 7 today. So join me as we explore more of the principles of speech writing. So last time, we actually have this picture last time. We have picture A and picture B. Could you still remember picture A? Could you describe like a very brief description about picture A? What can you say about picture A? Last time you told me picture A was nervous and picture B was a confident speaker. That's right. So for today, we are going to continue learning all the principles when it comes to speech writing so that you will be as confident as picture B right there when you deliver your speech. Again, this is continuation and learning or exploring more of the principles of effective speech writing. So today we will review and continue learning on the techniques and methods and how to make your own speech. And for today, my grade 11 oral communication students, for me to know your engagement in the class today, you can just comment down or comment on the comment section your answers if you want to participate. I would definitely appreciate that. So we will get to know principles to consider when planning to write for your speech. So once again, we actually had this last week, just a very brief recapitulation or recap or review The first thing to consider when you write your speech, you should do audience profiling, or audience analysis. You got to ask yourself, who is your audience? How many will be your audience? And what does the audience know about your subject? And of course, we shall never forget there should be logical organization. You make sure that your speech should contain the introduction, body, conclusion. So like what we have learned last time, introduction presents the main idea, and the body offers definitions, examples, or any or more information about your topic. And conclusion reiterates or repeats or summarizes your introduction or the main idea. And also, we had last time our duration. So when we talk about duration, my grade 11 students, what comes into your mind? Could you tell me? So that that person right there will stop spinning. He might be a little bit dizzy. Okay, so tell me, when you talk about duration, what comes into your mind? Okay, let me hear some comments right there. Okay. By the way, my other monitor is right here for me to read your comments. So just in case you're wondering. Okay, so we have here, oh, by the way, greeting all the people, or hi to all my co-teachers from City of Bogo Science and Art Academy, and hello, Bogo City Division. Hi. Okay, and also watching with us today is SDO Iloilo City. And we have here Gary. Gary says duration refers to time limit. That's right, it's time limit. So that means to say we will be talking more about it today. So again, duration, no matter how long the speech is, always divide it into 5 parts. So we have introduction, your body, and your conclusion. Our body actually has paragraph 2, 3, and 4, as you can see on the right part of your screen. And according to Greg Grant, 2017, he says that the ideal length of speech is 20 minutes. So you shouldn't be going overboard. So sometimes some speakers, when they're not really planning their speech quite well, they tend to go overboard, or some of them are actually not reaching 20 minutes. So this is your guide, my grade 11 students. Introduction should be 2 minutes, which means to say it's 250 words. And your body, your point 1, should be 5 minutes. That's approximately 625 words. And yeah, we also have here Rodora. Hi, Rodora. Rodora Tagahay says, duration also refers to having a schedule, like following a certain time. That's right. And also, she says that it has something to do with time allotment. And that's actually it. And as for the body again, you should have point 3, which is approximately 5 minutes, and that's 625 words. And your last paragraph is your conclusion. Again, your conclusion reiterates, repeats, or summarizes the main idea that you have presented in your introduction. So total word count, that will give you 2,500 words, and that in total is 20 minutes. So that's according to Greg Grant. The ideal length of speech is 20 minutes. Okay, so we also have here word choice. This is our 4th principle. Again, what is our first principle? First principle is comment section. Okay, first principle is actually audience profile, or audience analysis. How about your second principle? What is your second principle? Okay, we also have a lot of new students today coming to class. Hello, everyone. Again, this is Principles of Speech Writing today, week number 7. Okay, all right, so let's continue here on the word choice, like what to avoid. What do you need to avoid so that you will have an effective speech writing? So these are the things that you need to avoid. So first is jargons or technical terms, specific only for a group of people. So once again, jargons are specific words or phrases used by a certain individual or group which are difficult for others to understand. Say for example, I think I've also mentioned this last time, it's actually blueprint. in the architecture. So when somebody says, did you bring your blueprint with you? That means to say it's not like a notebook that has a color blue ink print in it, but it's actually referring to the guide of the architect of the house that he or she wanted to build. Okay, that's a blueprint, and that's what we call a jargon or technical terms that's only familiar. The people who are familiar with it are the people who belong to that specific group. Okay, next is we have redundancy or excessive repetition of words. Well, as what we've said earlier, when it comes to duration, there should be 625 words, or there should be 250 words in the introduction. Sometimes, whenever I check some essays from my former students, some of them tend to just repeat some words, so that when they count it, it will reach to 625 words. And sometimes it's not really effective because although you have repeated such a word just to reach the 625 word limit, sometimes you should make sure that your point is still there. Okay, you're not actually just making it as an alibi for you to reach a certain number of words. Okay, let's go to letter C. Letter C is language inappropriate for the audience. So as what we know, principle number one is audience profile. So audience profile, you need to look onto the audience. You need to analyze your audience so that you'll know that, my vocabulary is fit for my grade 11 students, or my vocabulary or the word choice is not really fit for my audience. Probably some of them are kids, or probably some of them are college students. So you should adjust the language that's appropriate for your audience. That's why it's very important for you to do audience analysis. Okay, letter D is language inappropriate for the occasion. So, of course, going back to the audience profile, you also need to know what are you writing for? Why are you writing for? So you should make sure that you have a very in-depth knowledge about the event that you are going to deliver your speech, because sometimes you might mention some of the confidential terms that you should not mention in front of those audience, especially in that event. Okay, so that is word choice. Okay, so today also we will get to know 4 elements of word choice. Okay, so all strong writers actually have something in common. What do you think is that? They understand the value of word choice in writing. Strong word choices uses vocabulary and language to maximum effect. So creating clear moods and images and making your speech more powerful and vivid, or clearer. You're making your points very clear. So that's why for today, we will get to know more of the elements of word choice. So somehow when we hear the term word choice, it's like if you would like to analyze it in a literal way, it's like very simple. Word choice is very simple because you just have to pick or choose the correct words that you wanted to use in your speech. So somehow, the meaning of word choice may seem self-explanatory, but to truly transform your style and writing, we need to dissect the elements of choosing the right word. And that is why we will explore more on the elements of word choice. Okay, so our first element is the meaning. So words can be chosen. I think you're familiar with this, but anyway, words can be chosen for one of 2 meanings. We have denotation, or the denotative meaning, or the connotation, or the connotative meaning. So again, denotation refers to the word's basic literal dictionary and usage definition. And on the other hand, we have connotation. So connotation refers to how the word is being used in its given context, which of that word's many uses, associations, and connections are being employed. Say, for example, we have here the word blue. So the word blue, when it's the dictionary meaning or the denotation, it is referring to the color blue. Like my background for the PowerPoint is blue. Is it blue? Okay, I'm colorblind, but I think it's blue. Okay, and as for the connotation, um, you can say, I am feeling blue today. That means to say you're feeling sad. So denotation is a dictionary meaning, and connotation is how you use the word in a given context. Okay, let's move on to the next slide. Okay, so a word's denotative meaning is its literal dictionary definition, while its connotative meaning is the web of uses and associations it carries in context. So once again, do not forget if it's denotative meaning. Sometimes students tend to forget, or sometimes they mix everything, like denotative, sometimes parang ang nangyayari kasi, wow, Tagalog. Okay. Okay, back to English. Okay, so again, denotative meaning from the word itself so that you will make it easier para mas madali ninyo na ma-remember. So denotative meaning, D, dictionary meaning. Connotative meaning, C, context in the given context. Okay? So it's easier for you to remember. Okay. And the next element is what we call the specificity. Specificity. Okay. So when we talk about being specific, so what do you think does that mean? Can I have any of your answers right here in the comment section? Specificity. So from the meaning itself, use words that are both correct in meaning and specific in description. This is actually a very important factor or element that you should remember, okay? So sometimes a certain word or one word actually has a lot of meaning. That is why we have this synonyms, okay? A lot of meaning. That's why it is important to use words that are both correct in meaning and specific in description. Okay, so sometimes, or words like, minsan may inuulit-ulit tayo na words on our speeches, di ba? Kasi naman minsan, medyo hindi natin alam kung ano talaga yung tamang word na ating gagamitin. So, kaya nga, nung kanina, medyo natalakay din natin na kinakailangan hindi pa ulit-ulit ang word na ginagamit. So, dapat din, when you write something, when you write your speech, you should also be a wide reader or research. You do your research also. For example, when you say good, there's a lot of things that you can actually say the word good in different ways. Say, for example, we have here a weak description with adverbs. Say, for example, he cooks quite badly. The food is almost always extremely overdone. So instead of saying quite badly, sometimes kasi inuulit-ulit natin yung very, very beautiful. You can just say she's stunning, she's jaw-dropping, she's gorgeous. So instead of just always using the words quite or very, so you can just maybe use for another word that you could really describe a certain word in a sentence, okay? And as for the third element, we have the audience. So audience, good word choice takes the reader into consideration. So you should always make sure that you always consider your audience in picking or in writing your speech. So you have to pick the good word choice. So this is another way of saying that word choice conveys not only direct meaning, but also a web of associations and feelings that contribute to building the reader's world. So you gotta make sure that you can connect well to your audience. And you gotta make sure to know who your audience are. So depending on the overall environment you're working to create for the reader, either word could be perfect or way out of place. So sometimes kasi hindi natin medyo nasasang, how do I put this into Tagalog? Medyo hindi natin isinaalang-alang kung sino yung magiging audience natin. Kaya minsan, yung mga ibang nagde-deliver ng kanilang speech, hindi sila nagkakaroon ng connection sa kanilang audience or sa kanilang listeners kasi hindi nila alam kung sino magiging audience nila. And I think it will make us go back to the first principle, which is audience profiling or audience analysis. The last and the fourth element is style. So style, that means to say you need to consider your word choice to be the fingerprint of your writing. So why do you think style is an element of word choice? And why do you think style is important? Okay, I also have here Rodora. Rodora says specificity, very just and fitting. That's right. She's right. It's like fitting the proper words that you can really make a certain impact into your speech. Okay, and also here we have Anulita. Hi, Anulita. Anulita Abaca says specific is exact meaning. Synonym is likely the same meaning. That's right. Okay, again, let's go back to style. Why do you think style is an element? Or why do you think having a style in your writing is important? Okay, good afternoon. Watching from Gintoloan, Zamboanga, Sibugay. Oh, hello, Zamboanga, Sibugay. I once had a radio-based instruction. Hello, Sir Joel Torrecampo. Hi, sir, from Zamboanga, Sibugay. Okay, hi everyone. So again, style is our last element for today. So when you consider your word choice to be the fingerprint of your writing, so every writer uses words differently, right? So, and as the words come to form poems, stories, and books, so you actually have a different style or different approach in the English language, which will be recognized by your readers or listeners or your audience. Style isn't something you can point to, but rather a way of describing how a writer writes. Okay, again, style is best observed and developed through a portfolio of writing. As you write more and form an identity as a writer, the bits of style in your writing will form constellations. So when you write your speech, you actually have a different approach to it. Same with teaching. A teacher actually has different techniques, different styles in teaching students. Like as you can see, grade 11 students, I think, you can actually, it's evident, right? Your teachers actually has different styles, different ways, different techniques. Some teachers would go for reporting, some teachers would go for brainstorming or group activities and something like that. So that means to say style is like having a different attack. It's your attack. Style is also how would you entice your audience or your readers to still read your output or your writing? Or how would you let your audience stick around with you in that whole 20 minutes duration? And as we can see, we have here Mao Igarpar. Style is very important in elements of word choice because it gives more flavor. That's right, flavor, adding flavor to your statement than using typical and cliche words as alternatives, I must say. And that's a bingo. That's a bingo you got there, Mao. And that's right, because when you have your own style, you tend to go beyond what most writers or what most speakers do. You also wanted to have your own way, unique way. We wanted to be different. That's how diamonds are made. So as a speaker, you should also have your own style. You should have your own way when it comes to delivering or writing your speech. Okay, and the fifth principle, and this will be the last principle when it comes to speech writing, that is grammatical correctness. Okay, so grammatical correctness, why is it important? Why is it important? Because grammatical correctness is important because it prevents misunderstanding and misinterpretation between you and the audience. Okay? And using correct grammar when you give a speech is important to prevent misunderstanding and misinterpretation between you and the audience. So when you have a good command of language, it helps the listeners understand you quickly. Sometimes, di ba, kung medyo kabado ka na, parang you don't know what to say anymore. You are memorizing your lines. This is what happens mostly when a certain speaker memorizes a line, and then sometimes inuunahan ng kaba, so we tend to forget what will be our next line. So kaya medyo nagmi-mix lahat, parang nagiging puzzle na lahat. So hindi niya alam kung ano talaga yung proper na grammar na gagamitin. So dapat talaga as a speaker, especially when you need to deliver your speech, you gotta make sure you're not just memorizing it by the mind, but also by heart, so that you can build more connection with your audience. And well, that will be week number 8 for oral communication in context. After speech writing, there will be a speech delivery, and we will be knowing more of that on the week 8. And also, grammar inconsistencies slow down the communication process and generate negative impressions for the audience. Have you ever had that certain experience when you were maybe attending something like it could be a seminar or it could be an event? Uh, Merong mga tao na parang they wanted na magbantay sa grammar or sa sentence na sinasabi ng speaker, di ba? So, parang inaabangan nila kung ano yung magiging kamalian. Mali naman yun. Kasi hindi naman nasusukat sa correct grammar ang isang abilidad ng isang tao, di ba? So, sometimes, nagkakamali, pero as much as possible, although human as we are not perfect, but your grammar can be perfect. Okay, so it takes time, especially if it's an impromptu speech or something. But if it's a manuscript speech, I think you know this, diba? We have different types of speeches, impromptu, extemporaneous, manuscript speech. If it's a manuscript speech, it's prepared speech, so you should basically be reading. So I think kapag ganyan, parang wala naman talaga atang dapat na magiging mali sa grammar kapag ganyan. Pero kapag extemporaneous or impromptu speeches, baka meron. Pero as much as possible, again, nobody is perfect, but your grammar can be perfect. Okay, that's it, my friends. Grade 11 students, again, let's do a very quick review. Let's go back to the first principle. Again, our first principle is audience profiling or audience profile. So again, we are discussing week number 7, those who just came in late or those who just came in right now. Week number 7 is principles of speech writing, audience profile. So of course, you got to know who your audience are. And second principle is logical organization following the introduction, body conclusion. And after that, we have the third principle, it's duration. And when it comes to duration, the ideal length of speech is 20 minutes. And this is your guide. So introduction, body, conclusion. So more likely you will have, if you will follow this guide, more likely you will have 5 paragraphs. And the fourth principle is word choice. So word choice, these are the things to avoid. And again, word choice is also a very important aspect. It's a very important principle, especially when you wanted your speech to be effective. And our first element when it comes to word choice is meaning. Again, we have 2 types. We have 2 things here that we have for meaning, denotative meaning. If denotative, again, always remember D for dictionary. So denotative is a dictionary meaning. And connotative, para hindi medyo malimutan agad. So D, dictionary. C, context. So how the word is being used in its given context. Always remember that. Kasi minsan, kapag nakakalimutan na natin when we go to college na, sometimes nakakalimutan natin, ano nga ulit yung denotative meaning? So always remember that. D for dictionary, C for connotative. C for context. Nakalimutan ko agad. Pero joke lang yun. Okay, next naman is we have specificity. So it uses words that are both correct in meaning and specific in description. That is right. So you have to be specific with your words. So if meron namang ibang words na makakapag-describe sa word mo, instead of saying she's very beautiful, she's very pretty, you can just maybe use some more words that are very specific, and which is very enticing naman din sa speech mo kapag gumagamit ka ng ibang word instead of using the same old adverb that you have been repeating all throughout your speech. So pwede ka naman gumamit ng gorgeous, stunning, so iba't iba. Kaya importante din naman na you should read more. To be a good writer, you should actually be a wide reader. And I do promote your love for reading. Oral communication students, sanay nagbabasa kayo araw-araw. Minsan kasi parang right now we are in a world where social media is always there. Although there's reading in social media, I'm not saying there's none, but medyo maganda rin naman mag-flip ng pages ng books, no? Parang ang ganda ng amoy ng bagong libro. So, should also try that, okay? So, third is audience. So, good word choice takes the reader into consideration. So, kinakailangan mong isaalang-alang ang iyong audience, especially kung para may guide ka kung ano magandang words na gagamitin kapag ikaw ay nagsusulat or magsusulat ng speech mo. And the last element is style. So you should consider your word choice to be the fingerprint of your writing. Style is yung atake mo as a writer, as a speaker also. You should have your own style. Same with like being unique. You gotta be a unique speech writer, speech or speaker. Speaker. Okay, that's it. That's our 4 elements of word choice. And the 5th principle is grammatical correctness. Nobody is perfect, but your grammar can be perfect. So it's important to have correct grammar so that you will prevent misunderstanding and misinterpretation between you and your audience, diba? So kinakailangan talaga na you should have even just the basic na grammar. Lahat naman ata basic, lahat naman ata talaga siguro kinakailangan nating malaman para effective tayo na mag-write ng ating script. So, as much as possible, meron naman kayong mga teachers. So, you should ask advice like, teacher, refresh naman ako ng subject-verb agreement. So, something like that. Okay? And we also got guidelines in speech writing. Okay, the first guide is keep your words short and simple. Why do we have to keep our words short and simple when we do our speech writing? We should do that because your speech is actually meant to be heard by your audience, not read, right? So minsan kapag ang taas ng sinabi natin pero hindi naman pala nagets ng audience kasi ang dami mong sinabi, isa lang pala ang punto mo. So how about kung short na lang yung sasabihin mo para mas madali ka nila maintindihan? Pangalawa, avoid jargons, acronyms, or technical words. Again, kinakailangan itong i-avoid kasi hindi naman lahat na nabilong sa isang group na kagaya mo is maiintindihan nila yon. So, hindi nila maiintindihan, lalo na kung medical field. So, as much as possible, we should avoid jargons. Pero if your audience, again, if you do audience profiling, tapos if your audience are actually medical students, you can use jargons naman na under their field. Mas maintindihan nila yon. So third is make your speech more personal. Make your speech more personal. So use a personal pronoun I, but take care not to overuse it. So you can use I, of course, you are the one speaking, you are the one writing your speech. Use I, but not so much. Do not overuse. Okay, fourth naman, use active verbs and contractions because they add to the personal and conversational tone of your speech. Okay? Always use active verbs. And number 5 is be sensitive to your audience. Be very careful with your language, jokes, and nonverbal cues. So, meron mga ibang speaker or merong iba na medyo, yeah, they're funny, but sometimes baka, meron kasing ibang kind of humor, diba, na you can be funny without making fun of other people. So, you should try that. Like, you can be funny just with your jokes or something, pero not be funny in a sense na kinakailangan mong may pagtawanan ka sa what do you call this one, sa mga audience mo. So do not do that. So number 6 is use metaphors and other figures of speech. This is actually a great thing para mas effective ang speech mo para mas ma-convey mo yung point mo. At number 7 naman, ang pinakalas, ay manage your time well. Again, ano nga ulit yung ideal length ng speech natin? Okay. Ano nga ulit yung ideal length ng speech natin? Ideal length ng speech natin? Okay, naghihintay ako. Maghihintay ako. Okay. Ano yung ideal length ng speech natin? According to Gray Grant 2017. Ideal length is 5, 4. Okay, we have Fritzy. Fritzy and Lenny. Tama. Tumpak is 20 minutes. 20 minutes is your ideal length of speech. So, kaya nga, dapat guided ka doon. Nagpinigay na guide si Gray Grant as what we have discussed on the principle. It will make you manage your time well para din mas effective ka as a speaker and effective yung speech writing na gagawin mo. Okay, so basically, this is the principles of speech writing. And, of course, kapag natapos na natin, we actually have our 3-second flash quiz. This will be very quick. We still got 4 minutes, so let's try. Maybe just 1 to 2 items. Okay, first question I have for you, my grade 11 students. It is one of the most important aspects in developing your speech because you can tailor fit your speech content and delivery to your listeners. What do you think is the answer? Okay, I will count now. 3, 2. Wala pa atang answer sa comment. Okay, 3, 2. Okay, 3, 2. 3, 2, 1. Okay, ano yung sagot? It is one of the most important aspects in developing your speech because you can tailor fit your speech content and delivery to your listeners. Okay, reveal na ba natin? Wala bang mag-a-attempt na mag-answer? Just number 1? Number 1 pa lang to Okay, speech writing. Sabi ni Fritz, it's speech writing. Meron bang iba na kayang hamunin si Fritzy? Okay. Okay. Sabi nga nila, gaya ng love, move on tayo. Kaya ang answer natin ay, it is one of the most important aspects in developing your speech because you can tailor fit your speech content and delivery to your listeners is through audience profile. Para mas malaman mo kung sino yung magiging audience mo, para magawa mo yung speech mo na naka-inline talaga sa audience or sa tagapakinig mo. So, pinaka-importanting gawin ay dapat mag-audience profile or audience analysis. Perfecto. Okay, may sumagot na si Rosario. Rosario Mangahas. Hi. It's audience profile, that's right. Okay, just one more. In speech writing, it can be defined as all aspects of your writing that help the reader move smoothly from one sentence to the next and from one paragraph to another. Ano kaya ito? In 3, 2, 1, Happy New Year. Okay, in 3, 2, 1, ano ang sagot? It's logical organization. Again, always remember, logical organization follows introduction, body, and conclusion. Okay? So my grade 11 students, this has been a very great class. I had fun, especially with the ones who are participating through the comment section. So today we actually learned about principles of speech writing, and I hope you were able to learn a lot with me today. It's Tutor Nova today. And on the next week, stay tuned because we will be discussing more on your speech delivery. So I'll be coaching you and guiding you. What does it make to be an effective speaker? Or what does it take for you to be effective when you deliver your speech, okay? So this has been your tutor for today, Tutor Nova for Oral Communication in Context, week number 7. Thank you so much, and I will see you next time.
Sigurado ako na marami ka na namang natutuhan sa ating ETULay tutorial session ngayong araw. Tandaan, ito ay hindi lamang para sa ating mga mag-aaral, kundi pati rin sa ating mga minamahal na guro at mga magulang na kaagapay natin para maituloy ang pagkatuto sa kabila ng nararanasang pandemya. Patuloy ding sumubaybay sa DepEd TV para sa mga araling ginawang video episodes. Mapapanood ito mula Lunes hanggang Sabado, alas 7 ng umaga hanggang alas 7 ng gabi sa inyong mga telebisyon. Abangan bukas mula alauna ng tanghali ang iba pang aralin sa ating ETULay free online tutorial session sa Filipino. I-like and subscribe at manatiling nakasubaybay sa ating ETULay tutorial session sa DepEd Edtech Unit FB page at Educational Technology Unit channel sa YouTube at sa DepEd Tayo at DepEd Philippines social media accounts. Paalam!
Magandang araw, Sir Wilbur po, at your service. Narito ang ETULay upang gabayan ka sa inyong pag-aaral upang lubos na maunawaan ang iba't ibang paksa o subject. Ang ETULay ay isang free online tutorial class na pinangungunahan ng ICTS Educational Technology Unit sa pamumuno ni Undersecretary Elaine Del P. Pascua. Ang programang ito ay hindi lamang para sa mga bata, kundi ito rin ay magsisilbing gabay sa mga magulang at mga guro kung paano nila ituturo o gagabayan sa bawat asignatura ang kanilang mga anak o mga estudyante. Sa kasalukuyan, ang self-learning module mula sa rehiyon ng Calabarzon at kilala sa tawag na pivot ang ginagamit sa ating ETULay online class. Kaya ano pang hinihintay ninyo? Ihanda na ang inyong mga ballpen o lapis, papel o kwaderno at samahan kaming itulay ang pagkatuto para sa bawat batang Pilipino. Sama-sama tayong magtutulungan para malampasan ang mga hamon sa panahong ito. Halina't matuto kasama ang inyong online tutor sa oras na ito.
Hello, sir. Nakamute po, nakamute.
Po. Good afternoon everyone sa mga nanonood po ngayon, mga viewers, mga bata. Good afternoon po. Good afternoon. Naway matutunan nyo ngayon ang bagong aralin natin sa araw na ito. Okay, so welcome po sa ating subject. Ito po, reading and writing skills. Okay, na nasa senior high school na, right? So, itulay ang gabay sa pagkatuto. Itulay edukasyon itatawid sa iyo. Itulay paaralan di lalayo sa iyo. Itulay sa makabagong panahon. Itulay para sa kabataang Pilipino. Thank you so much. All right, so welcome to our subject, online tutorial. Okay, reading and writing skills. Teka lang muna. Okay. So, what are you learning last meeting that we had? Okay, we discussed about claims. Okay, and we started, nauna po natin discuss yung claim of, ano yun? Claim of fact. Okay, sige. So, ngayon, I'll be presenting to you okay, so this is the reading and writing skills. So, meron tayong 40 minutes to discuss about this. Thank you for watching. Oh, magandang araw po, teacher. All right, thank you for viewing, right? So, what's your prior knowledge on this? Okay, so let's start. So we discussed last week, about claim of fact. Okay, but before that, let's have what is claims. So, claims are synonymous to belief, argument, assertion, and or stand. So meaning, ito yung mga argumento, ang assertion natin, o ang ating punto, ang ating stand. Okay? So that is claim. Alright. Next, claim of fact is a statement that reports, describes, predicts, make causal claims, or whether something is settled fact. So meaning to say, makatotohanan. Ito ay factual information. Okay? So, I have here now an activity. Okay? So, students, so viewers na nanonood ngayon sa kanilang bahay-bahay, so pwede kayong magsagot, pwede mo answer sa ato ang question karon. Na ako'y 5 ka question sa ato ang activity. So, since this is a review, so put a check mark if the statement is a claim of fact and put a cross mark if it is not on the space before each number. So, let's start. The Department of Education shows its readiness on the new normal in the teaching and learning process. What is your answer for number 1, students? So those who are in their houses, yung nasa bahay po ngayon, pwede po kayo mag-comment down below in our comment box. Tingnan natin kung tama kayo sa number 1. Thank you so much, Antonio Mark. No? And also, we're watching now, Mark Edward. Thank you. What is the correct answer? That is check. What about number 2? Curfew must be enforced by parents to their children. Is it a fact or not? Check or X? Okay, ready? What is the correct answer? That is X. So, it is not a claim of fact. Next, number 3. Vaping can have the same side effects as smoking. What is your answer? All right? Any comment down below? Okay. Sino po yung mag-answer? What is your answer, class? Students, the answer, check. That is claim of fact. All right. Number 4. The closing of Philippine borders to tourists is one way to slow down the spread of COVID-19. Is it a fact or not? Is it a claim of fact or not? All right, what is your answer? Anybody? Anybody? All right, the correct answer is check. Very good, students. You got it right. What is the answer for number 5? Anybody who can answer for number 5? Comment down below in our video. Students, anybody who can answer? Okay, what is the answer? Let's reveal it now. That is X. Doing videos in TikTok is more exciting than vlogging. Okay, so 3, 4 is claim of facts and 5 is X. Okay, so this time, I welcome you to quarter 2, week 7. We're now in week 7. 7 na po tayo ngayon. Ikapito. Okay? Sa mga taga-Bisaya na nasa Visayas and Mindanao, hello po. Thank you so much for viewing. Yung mga nasa Taga-Luzon, ng NCR or any parts of Luzon, hello po. Maligayang pag-view po ngayon. So naway marami kayong matutunan sa hapon na ito. Okay. Oh, number 5 is X. Thank you so much, Almorzid X. Very good. That is correct. Next is, all right. Thank you so much for answering. All right. So these are now our objectives. Okay. Identify claims, determine the key elements, differentiate claims of fact, claim of policy, claim of value from each other, identify claims of fact, policy, and value. And we discussed already about claim of fact, then we are now in claim of policy. Okay, thank you. Now, we will discuss the lesson 2, the claim of policy, I mean. Okay, we discussed already the lesson 1, claim of fact. And now we're discussing about claim of policy. Okay, so claim of polisia. What's in A claim is described as debatable set of words or a concept that allows the source to influence the receiver for acceptance. It is equated to an opinion, idea, or assertion. Okay, so meaning this is all about arguments. It's all about ideas. It's all about assertion. Okay? Has been associated with words such as belief, argument. So we discussed it all together, no? And classified according to method and nature. What are this? So we have this explicit claim and implicit claim. So I discussed here already about explicit claim. Okay, class? Explicit claim are those. Okay, those are observables. And also, we have this implicit. Those are, we cannot overtly or seen this physically, no? So this is inside or within. Are types of claim based on method. What about, on the other hand, claim of fact, claim of policy, and claim of value are types of claim based on nature. So, if kumustorya ta og claims based sa method, natay ginatawag na explicit claim, which is outside, no? Outside portions. And implicit claims are those within or inside. Okay. Meaning kung maingon ta observation, explicit claim, unsay gibuhat niya, example, nagtuturo siya, no, gamit ang chalk or blackboard. So meaning physically makita talaga natin. Implicit, ano bang ginagawa? Bakit niya ginagawa ito? So it could be he or she is inspired to teaching or ano pa. Okay, she is happy doing it, no? So mean to say, implicit yung within observation na pwede nating makita sa kanya, observe natin sa kanya. Okay? So, nature naman yung claim of fact, claim of policy, and claim of value. Okay, so let's start. What's new? Ano bang nakita nyo sa monitor natin? Ano nakita nyo, class? Ma'am Rachel at work. Okay, Rachel Ann Ragos. Hello po. Sino pa ba dito? Okay, hindi po ito grade 5. Dito senior high school po. Reading and writing skills. Basta hapon, ganitong mga oras, we have junior high school and down to senior high school. Okay, sino pa ba dito? Thank you so much po sa pakikinig at saka pag-view po. Ano ba nakita natin na word? So, obviously, merong word dyan sa itaas. Pwedeng pahalang, pwedeng pababa, pwede pa itaas. O ano man. Ma'am Rachel at work. Sige, ano nakita nyo dyan? Okay, we have action. So, the word action. So, for that word, that is in relation to our topic today. So, we will discuss about claim of policy. Is the argument where actions should be carried out. Basically, it is perceived as a relatively direct statement. So, meaning to say, this is direct statement. Okay? And we have this argument for actions. That is claim of policy. Now, claim of policy can also be called claim of solution. If there are problems, there are solutions because it suggests and supports policies and solutions, and the action to be taken is based on the results. Okay, there will be actions to your problems and there will be a result. You will know if a statement is claim of policy if there is an action to be done or a solution to be taken. So meaning to say, class, meaning to say, students, or to all who you are viewing right now, so sino yung nanonood ngayon, claim of policy po, kung merong action po na ginagawa para masolve po ang problem or problema, okay? That there are solutions to be taken. Okay, that is claim of policy. Okay, what I have learned. So now, analyze each statement below. Then answer the guide questions on the separate sheet. Okay, so I have here the statements. Okay, gender equality should be supported by every Filipino. Okay, so gender equality daw. Merong equality between men and women that is supported by every Filipino. So, is there an action to be done, students? Meron ba tayong action to be done on this? Comment po kayo sa ating comment box. Okay, tingnan natin sino makatama. Is there an action to be done? Correct answer is yes. Meron tayong action dyan to be done. Okay? So, if yes, what is that action? Ano bang ating gagawin when there is gender equality that's supported by every Filipino? Tingnan natin ha. If yes, what is the action? Should be supported. So, dapat supportaan natin. Okay? Supportaan ng mga Filipinos. Yes. If there are gender equality. So, dapat balance talaga between men and women. What type of claim is this? Ano ma itong claim na ito? Okay. Tingnan natin. This is claim of policy. Alright, this is not claim of fact, because this is claim of policy because there is a problem and there would be a solution to that problem. Okay, actions. Next, the pandemic which the world is experiencing takes away lives. Thus, Filipinos are ought to stay at home. Okay, so experience natin ngayon karon atong na-experience ang pandemic jud sa COVID-19. So unsay buhaton? There are problems, there is a problem, and what could be a solution to that problem? So there would be an action. Is there an action to be done? Students, ano ang sagot ninyo? Okay, yes. Yes, so there should be an action to be done. If yes, what is that action? You must stay at home. Okay, stay at home po tayo. Huwag po tayong pag-alagala kahit saan kasi sinasabihan tayo ng mga health workers, tsaka mga parents natin, yung mga teachers ninyo na observe health protocols. Okay, so that is about the action to be taken. What type of claim is this? This is claim of policy. Thank you for responding. This is claim of policy. What about number 3? The Bayanihan to Heal as One is implemented to fight COVID-19 crisis and therefore should be obeyed. Is there an action to be done? Meron ba tayong action dyan? Yes, you're right. We have, okay? So if yes, what is that action? Okay, ano students? What are those actions? Should be obeyed. Okay, makikita natin naman sa statement, no? Na makikilala natin kung ano ang gagawin talaga natin. So, let's obey, no? Let's obey the government. Let's obey all people, no? Who are helping us, no? Just like our frontliners, no? What type of claim is this? Claim of policy. Okay, thank you so much for responding. Next, we have number 4. Spreading fake news in the midst of pandemic will not help at all. Hence, by all means, it should be stopped. Okay, is there an action to be done? Students? All right, I know you're answering right now in your modules with your parents who are supporting you all the time. And also your teachers who are in the school or at home right now, helping you and guiding you in your answering modules. Okay, yes, there must be action to be done. If yes, what is that action? Students? At home, sa balay, karon ng mga estudyante. So yung answer, should be stopped. So dapat yung mga fake news na binibigay, no, na wag tayong maniwala agad-agad yung mga fake news kasi dapat reliable sources tayo, no? Reliable sources tayo makinig o kaya manood. Kaya wag tayong magbigay ng mga fake news o kaya makinig sa mga fake news kasi ito hindi makakabuti para sa atin. So kinakailangan natin na makinig at mag-watch, no, na mga TV stations or yung mga pinapanood natin na may mga reliable sources talaga na information sa mga balita. So what type of claim is this? This is claim of policy. So very good. Okay, we have Flor Caparad. Thank you so much for answering. Thank you. Pwede kayong maglagay ng school niyo para ma-recognize ko din, no? Ma-recognize po na ako kung asa mo karon, no? Asa mo karon nag-study, asa mo karon nag-discuss with your parents, no? So frontliners save lives while sacrificing their own. Discrimination of this should not be tolerated. So sinabi ko na no na pinapaulit ko ito sa mga estudyante na there should be no discrimination, okay? Because it's not good for us, because we Filipinos should always have this kind of the spirit of respecting one another and be thankful for those people who are always keeping, reminding and helping us, no? So let's love them all, no? Huwag tayong gagawa ng mga diskriminasyon even sa inyong kapwa estudyante. Frontliners save lives while sacrificing their own. Discrimination of these people should not be tolerated. There is there an action to be done? Yes, there is. Very good. So Annabel Oro, Palero, hi, watching President Quirino National High School. Sultan Kuda, thank you so much for watching. So I know you are answering it now in your modules. Na why marami kayong matutunan dito sa ating lesson. If yes, what is that action? Students, okay? Should not be tolerated. So dapat hindi natin i-tolerate yung pag-discrimination. Even sa klase, no? Even sa in virtual class, even sa physical natin, no? Sa pagkita ng mga yung mga classmates ninyo, puhon-puhon, balang araw, no? Soon mabalik na tayo sa mabalik na ta sa normal, okay? So there's no discrimination at all, no? Hindi natin na i-practice. Okay, what type of claim is this? This is claim of policy. Okay, yahoo! We're done with our activity specifying those concepts that must be given emphasis for actions to a problem. Okay, that is different to claim of fact. This time, complete the sentence by writing down the letter of the correct word to complete the statement. Para makumpleto po ang ating statement, kukumplitoon po nating statement based sa ating lesson. Ano yung lesson natin? Claim of policy. Okay, number 1. I will read to you the choices. A, should. B, result. C, intervention. D, comparison. E, discipline. F, problem. G, action. H, love. Okay, number 1. Claim of policy is also called claim of solution because it proposes blank to solve the existing problem. What is your answer? Anybody who can answer this? Thank you so much. All right, letter B. That is result. Thank you for responding, everyone. All right, next, number 2. Blank is the main element of claim of policy. What is your answer, class? The correct answer is letter G, action. Okay, sinabi ko na kanina, kung may action, that is claim of policy. So, the suggested action is based on the identified letter F, problem. Next, ought, must, and blank can be directly or indirectly stated in the claim. Ano yon? Para maging parallel po ang ating mga words dito. Letter A, should. Okay. Number 5. In claim of policy, one can notice the possible solution because there is an existing, ano existing natin dyan? Existing, okay, intervention. So ano ang ating action? Ano itong gagawin? May intervention kung may problema, okay? So yan. Very good, students. I know you got all the right answers for this activity. So this time, let's proceed. I have this additional activity. Directions on a separate sheet, write CP. What is CP? Okay, claim of policy. If the given statement is claim of policy. So if not, anong gagawin natin? Okay, but nga nato og NCP. So meaning to say, lagyan natin ng NCP. Okay, malaking titik yan. Okay? So let's start with number 1. Anti-tech scam bill should be passed as law to protect the people. What is your answer? Huh? What is your answer? Is it a claim of policy or not? Okay, ano ba yung mga words, ano ba yung mga phrases, ano ba yung mga elements na pwede nating masasabi ito na claim of policy? Meron tayong phrase na should be passed. So, the answer is CP. What about number 2? Euthanasia, also known as mercy killing, is against the law of God. Is there an action to be taken? Meron ba tayo, meron problema po, meron bang action na binibigay sa statement? What is your answer? Class, students, answer right now down below in the comments so that we can respond to you. What is the correct answer? Okay, the answer is NCP. Okay, because there's no action to be done. Next, number 3, we should not support nor do euthanasia or mercy killing in the Philippines because it is still an act of killing. Ano ito? Unsa ni? Unsa kay na euthanasia, mercy killing, no? Luoy kayo ni siya kay imbis dapat mabuhi pa, no? Mabuhi pa kita example, mga aged people, no, na able pa sila jud na na mabuhi, no. So there would be possibility nga nembot euthanasia nga di na sila paantuson because of the disease, because of this their sickness. So dapat jud gingon diri na should not support nor do euthanasia, no, in the Philippines because it is still an act of killing. Yes, just like abortion, no. What is the correct answer? Correct answer is CP, claim of policy, because there are phrases like should not support nor do. Okay, thank you so much for participating. Okay, next, number 4, abortion should not be legalized in the Philippines because every child is a gift. Okay, abortion should not be legalized. Ano ba itong legalized? Hindi natin siya tatanggapin or ano ba, illegal or gawin natin nga free na pwede na tayong mag-abortion, no, illegal natin na wala nang kaso, hindi na tayo lusot dito. So kinakailangan ano ba ang gagawin natin? So abortion should not be legalized. So hindi naman natin nilegalize ito, di ba? So kasi yung abortion, you are killing a child or a baby in the womb pa lang, no? Because child is a gift from God, no, sa ating Panginoon. Kaya mapasalamat tayo sa ating Panginoon at saka sa ating parents kasi kayo ngayon andito kayo, no? So sila nabigay, yung Panginoon nagbigay sa atin ng buhay. So abortion should not be legalized. Is this CP or not claim of policy? The correct answer is claim of policy. Very good, students. Next, number 5. Every child has the right to be born, whether he or she is made out of love or anything else. Doing abortion is doing a criminal act. Okay? Ako nga gikasulti nga kanang ang pagkuan og abortion sa mga bata or sa pag-abort gikan pa lang sa womb sa inahan or pagpatay o pagkill, no, na from sa tiyan pa lang ng sa womb, no, sa womb sa uterus pa lang ng mga magulang natin sa ating mother. Okay, so ang mga bata talaga ay may right to be born, no? Even he or she is made out of love or anything else. So kinakailangan na palakin siya, no, ng mga magulang kung hindi at hindi i-abort, no? Because this is out of love, okay? Or anything else kung ano pa man ang nagawa, okay? So kasi gift yan o gasa sa atong hitasan. Okay, this is a criminal act. So that is not CP because there's no an action. So action talaga ang ating hinahanap dito. Okay, so we're done with our activity. Okay, I do hope you've learned a lot, no? In our short discussion about claim of policy. We discussed all together about claim of fact, claim of policy. So what I can do, okay? What I can do to accomplish a task, no, in relation to our topic today, okay? So for reading and writing, quarter 2, number 1, pretend that you are one of the officers of the Supreme Student Government. This would be a task in your school, and you are tasked to write a report about your school. So meaning to say, mag-pretend kayo na you are an SSG. Or kung SSG kayo ng school, mas mabuti, mas nindot, no? Sa Bisaya pa, to write a report about your school. Okay? What about number 2? The report should contain 3 current problems or concerns. So maglagay kayo, example, no, na nag-role play kayo or kayo talaga yung Supreme Student Government President. Okay? So maglagay kayo ng report, no, mga problems, maglagay kayo ng 3, okay? Or concerns experienced by the students. So mga students, ha? So tingnan natin, mga students. Okay, so dapat makarelate po kung unsa yung mga problems sa sa school na makita jud ninyo na kinahanglan jud ninyo nga tutukan. Example, latecomers, or it could be discrimination, it could be bullying, it could be ano pang mahanap nyo sa school na pwede nyo mabigyan ng punto na masolusyonan. Wearing of IDs, wearing complete uniform, o marami dyan, okay? So pwede kayong maglagay ng mga problems. Next, so a possible solution for each problem should also be proposed. So kinakailangan, no, na meron tayong solution sa paglagay ng problema. Okay, so just like research, kung may problema, may solusyon. Pero dapat yung solusyon ay kaakibat yung mga systematic na mga intervention at saka kung ano bang dapat na solusyonan natin para dyan. Tumpak at saka systematic. Okay? Number 4, merge your identified problems and solutions to produce 3 claims of policy. So mean to say, since nakaproduce kayo ng 3 problema, 3 ka problema sa inyong school, and then unsaon ninyo pagkuan na siya, unsaon ninyong kuan solution. Example, pag wear of ID, magkuan ba mo one classroom nga kuan murag campaign nga kanang pasuotoy siya ID, or unsa bay mabuhat ninyo para namo intervention o namoy action ana. And then out of the solutions unsa ma-produce ninyo na policy. Policy polisiya kay para magsuot gyud sila ID. Okay, para mag-wear din sila ng ID. So, be guided by the rubric that follows. So, meaning, ang nung gagawin ninyo, mag-act kayo ng being an SSG or SSG officer. It could be a president or any ano bang officers nga gusto nyo sa SG, or kada maka-guide kayo ng mga students. So, part kayo sa organization. Okay? So, maglagay kayo ng interventions and actions, and then there would be claim of policy, mga guidance, yung anong gagawin nyo na sistema para mapatupad yung law or anong mga regulations ninyo sa school, okay? Para pasunod yung mga estudyante. Ito yung ating rubrics, okay? Ito rubrics natin, okay? So, 3, all important details are complete. Writing shows high degree of attention to logical content. No mechanical errors. 2 naman, kung some important details are missing. Writing shows less degree of attention to logical content. Then few mechanical errors. Then 1, if many details are missing. Writing shows no degree of attention to logical content and many mechanical errors. Okay? So naintindihan ba ang ating task ngayong hapon para sa claim of policy? So I do hope kung mayroon kayong mga nalalaman, kung ano ba yung mga narinig at saka nakita nyo rito, pwedeng i-share sa yung mga classmates kaya para maging guided din sila kung ano ang gagawin, okay? So para sa assignment natin. Okay, this would be our rubrics. Okay, so I think kung meron ka ba kayong mga tanong, pwede kayo mag-comment down below in our video to say something, comment something, or ask something, no, para masolusyonan natin yan at mabigyan natin ng answers or recommendations ano ang gagawin, okay? So, kung wala na mga tanong, taintindihan na about sa ating claims, and sa araw na ito, na-discuss natin yung claim of policy. So, thank you so much for watching and keeping on air, no? Next time sa ating oras ng 5 to 5:40 po sa ating ETULay online tutorial in our senior high school, kasi senior high school hanggang senior high school ng ating ETULay. So maraming salamat po sa ating mga admin, no, personnel sa ating ETULay. At pasalamat din tayo kasi nabigyan tayo ng oras, no, na magbigay sa atin ng review sa inyong mga modules. So, reading and writing skills, be fond of this subject. So, this is from ETULay or online tutorial, and we anchored all the informations or we're guided with PBOT, no, from 4A Calabarzon. So, these are the writers, and once again, kung wala na kayong mga tanong, so thank you so much. That ends our session for today. This has been your tutor Jess for this subject, reading and writing skills for senior high school. See you in the next episode, only here at ETULay program of the Department of Education Philippines. Leaving you a quote from Bibik Madlani: never stop learning because life never stops teaching. Sulong edukalidad. DepEd tagumpay. Goodbye! Yahoo!
Sigurado ako na marami ka na namang natutuhan sa ating ETULay tutorial session ngayong araw. Tandaan, ito ay hindi lamang para sa ating mga mag-aaral, kundi pati rin sa ating mga minamahal na guro at mga magulang na kaagapay natin para maituloy ang pagkatuto sa kabila ng nararanasang pandemya. Patuloy ding sumubaybay sa DepEd TV para sa mga araling ginawang video episodes. Mapapanood ito mula Lunes hanggang Sabado, alas 7 ng umaga hanggang alas 7 ng gabi sa inyong mga telebisyon. Abangan bukas mula 1:00 ng tanghali ang iba pang aralin sa ating ETULay free online tutorial session sa Filipino. I-like and subscribe at manatiling nakasubaybay sa ating ETULay tutorial session sa DepEd Edtech Unit FB page at Educational Technology Unit channel sa YouTube at sa DepEd Tayo at DepEd Philippines social media accounts. Paalam!